Over to you, Colin.
I'm his brother, Chris.
Beg your pardon. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Everyone, if I had £1 for every time I've been called Colin, I think I'd be very, very rich. There we are. But welcome everyone on this very wild, woolly night, certainly in Swindon. I don't know about the rest of the 3 districts. Thank you for making the journey to your screens for the third of our tri-district, 3-district workshops. I hope you all agree that they've been a successful innovation this year, and certainly I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next 2 or 3 going in November and into the new year. I'm delighted tonight to welcome Sam Cooper, who's going to tell us all about making more effective use of Facebook. I think one of the aspects of COVID is that we've all become much more competent in the use of social media, but we still need reminding and developing in terms of how we use it more effectively. So Sam Cooper, current president of Saltram Rotary in Plymouth, lovely part of the world, and membership for lead for District 1175 in the Southwest Peninsula, and the William Walls this year, there was a DG. For 4 years, she's been helping and leading social media marketing in the district. And I think it's fair to say that this is something which we all have an aim to have a social marketing and media lead in our own district, and working with clubs so they have a much better online presence. She developed workshops in the area of better engagement, fundraising, event management, and the use of social media. And if clubs need help, work to meet that need. So that's brilliant. So they're getting clubs to work more closely together and so forth. Her day job, and as Sam was telling us earlier, that she has a background in the setting up of services in the area of healthcare and the voluntary sector, and has been on track and trace for the last, I don't know how long, but she said it's a relief to come and talk to us tonight and to tell us some of the things that she knows about the Facebook. She's also got a small marketing business and works with companies to help them market themselves well. So that really is something I think we all need to do to market ourselves more effectively. So without any ado, can I welcome to Sam Cooper, who's going to present to us on more effective use of Facebook. Sam.
No, I feel, right, I'm just going to share the screen. Can you all see that? Is that right? So, are there any nods? So, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Alison. So I was asked today, I think I've been doing a presentation about Facebook and about social media, I think for the past 2 years or so. And I was asked to come by, I think it was by Chris, to come and talk to you, and with the nice, I guess, with the reference from Dave King. I've updated everything because Facebook's changed, and this is the first time I've done the presentation, so that's not a cop-out. We're going to make it work. So what I want to talk to you about today is what is social media marketing, a bit about Facebook, but actually, although I'm talking about Facebook, it does transfer across the social media channels, and then the do's and the don'ts of Facebook. And I had to go to Google to work out how to spell do's and don'ts because there's apostrophes everywhere. I always put this up saying, why do we have to promote Rotary? And I know you've probably all seen it before, but we have to promote Rotary because a lot of people haven't heard of us. 4 people out of 10 haven't heard of us. I know I'm saying that now, but now we're not on the streets and now we're not out in the public eye. We don't want that number to increase. If that number goes up, then Rotary's reputation goes down. So we have to work really hard on social media to make things happen and make things work. I've put this slide up because it's just an example of just a portion of charities who are out there. And I'm saying charities because they're generally charities with paid fundraisers. The paid fundraisers are out there and they're shouting about what they're doing. They're wanting volunteers, and it's not a competition. So that's why competing's put in inverted commas, but we are competing for exposure. So all of you here tonight need to ensure that your club gets the exposure that your club deserves. we really are up against it. You know, we keep hearing about the NHS responders. That is now the big place for everyone to volunteer. Rotary have to sell themselves as places that are good for volunteers and that are worthwhile, and also you're out there trying to get exposure for people to come to your events and people to support you. So we're going to talk about social media marketing, and this is just a light bit. So social media refers to the online tools and services which allow an exchange of ideas, information, videos, pictures and graphics, just about anything you can name. I think, you know, it's advancing all of the time. So I'm saying videos, pictures and graphics. Who knows, this time next year, it may be more. For Rotary, it always goes hand in hand with traditional media, and it is outward facing. Oh, I've just seen this bit down here. This Think Rotary hashtag is something that I took to the district last year. So not this district governor year, last district governor year, because we were trying to get the district to think about Rotary wherever they were. So I just thought, just in case you noticed that. So why should you use social media to promote your club? It is cost effective. It does reach a global audience. It is a powerful communication tool. When you know what you're doing, it's easy to engage. It's visible and it happens in real time. So just like Mary said, you know, we're recording this, it's going to go on YouTube. It's just going to be, by the time it gets on YouTube, it's going to be old news. If this was on Facebook Live now, it would be happening in real time. So we really must use social media to the best of our ability. What should you post on social media? So I have got a PDF that's coming out with the main points of the presentation on it. So you will all receive this part on the PDF. But you should offer opportunity to engage with your audience. You should post about what you're doing, what your club's doing. You should share good news and celebrate success. You should always remain appropriate. If it was, you know, I did do the 4-way test of social media. If it's not truth, then don't post it. It has to be appropriate for your audience. To maintain confidentiality as appropriate. It may be that you're putting someone's name on Facebook. My first club, I called everyone by their first name, and I think in this club, my current club, there's some people who would die if I put their name on Facebook. So be careful about who you're posting about. Social media is a public domain and posts will exist for a long time. Now, if this was a longer session, I'd give you some examples of screenshots that I've taken, quite funny screenshots of social media posts where there's been a mistake. And if there's a mistake, people will take a photo of it. If you write something wrong, people will take a photo of it. I have a friend, I'm not going to say her name, she always falls out with her husband on a Friday night. I look at the post, it's a raging post about how she's taking the cat and she's leaving him. I know that post won't be there the next day, but I know that if I did take a screenshot, it was there for that moment. So be very careful about what you post, because it is out there. And it all boils down to the fact that to use best judgment. If you're in doubt, don't post. If you're in doubt and you need to ask for advice, maybe you shouldn't. But if it's a sensitive subject, then maybe you want to ask for advice, and just make sure that the way you're wording it is the right way. And that's across all social media, not just Facebook. So I think I said before that social media fits with your club's marketing toolkit, along with email, website, newsletters, face-to-face, radio, branded clothing, and anything else which is in your marketing toolkit. Your social media plan will help determine which social media platforms are right for your club. And different platforms have different audiences. You don't have to use them all. You do need a marketing plan. So I don't think we do this enough in Rotary, and I think very often it's on one person's shoulders. And as a club, and especially in the time of COVID, we really should be thinking about how we're driving things forward. So it could be that in this Rotary year, we want to increase membership by 1, 2, 3 or 4. 10 would be great. But to achieve this, we must agree a consensus within the club and work as a team. I'm president of my club, and I've been really trying to encourage us all to work more as a team because we are in a time of crisis, and I think we need to work as a team to take the club forward in a completely different way. For marketing, you can use your available resources, and that's social media leaflets. I think we can still have leaflets. Maybe we're not going to give them out, but we could have PDF of leaflets on our social media or on our website. I've mentioned it here, but I'll mention it again at the end, to be consistent with Rotary branding, to make the most of opportunities, monitor the effects of our efforts, and keep positive in any marketing plan. And I mentioned about the different platforms and using what works for your club. Facebook, and that's what we're talking about tonight, is really good to connect people with friends and family, and it's really good for building relationships. Twitter is a microblogging platform to share ideas. It's real-time information and trending news. It is good for connecting with businesses. I've been on Twitter for about 10 years now, or just around 10 years. And I have a love-hate relationship with it. I like it if I've got something to promote, and I don't like it if I haven't. So Twitter is quite good. Instagram is owned by Facebook. It's used to share photos and videos. It is good for connecting with younger people. But like I said about what works for your club, in my former club, we had an Instagram account, and it didn't work because people weren't necessarily interested in Rotary then. Maybe it would work now, maybe. And I do know some clubs who've got good Instagram accounts. And as Mary was saying, YouTube is a platform for sharing videos. I think a few clubs have started getting YouTube accounts, but you do have to populate it with videos. And TikTok, I'd love to see at the end of, I'm laughing because I've seen some great TikTok clips. I don't know enough about it, but and that's probably because I haven't had the time, but it's just advancing so quickly. But it's a social media platform for creating and sharing videos. I don't actually know if maybe when we've had the questions, if you've got a TikTok for your club, let me know, and we'll have a look. I've put this up. I got this today because when we're talking about social media and who's on social media, if you look there, the top website's Google. The second website, this is around the world, but the second website is YouTube. A lot of people will go to YouTube for information. And then we have Facebook. If I'm looking for a hairdresser, I'll probably go to Google, but I will also go to Facebook to see what the hairdresser's Facebook page looks like, if I can get some reference to them, and whether I feel like going. Further down, we've got Twitter, then we've got Instagram. I'm not going any further down the page. You can read those for yourself. But again, these people are on Facebook, and we need to get them. We need to get them as well as we could, and build relationships with them. So Facebook. I found this one quite interesting because as Rotary, it's the age of the demographics of the people who use Facebook. We want them in our clubs. And for me, I just hit 50, and I'm one of these. So I'm asking my friends who are around this age whether or not they would like to join Rotary. But actually, we keep hearing that, younger people aren't using Facebook. Worldwide, they are. Maybe locally, they may not be, but these people are using Facebook. My mum's on Facebook. She's in this category here. She keeps threatening to join Rotary. I don't think she will. I wouldn't want her to join my club. But these people here, you need to get them. You need to get them. You need to build relationships with them. And I will talk about desperation later in the what you shouldn't do. But we've got this great opportunity to get this age group and encourage them to help Rotary. So Facebook is the platform for building relationships. It's showing your club's personality, and it's making your club stand alone from other clubs. Not, I posted something the other day on my club's Facebook page, and someone in a neighbouring club lifted it word for word, but added another couple of sentences in. I really wouldn't recommend doing that. Stand alone and stand proud. Your challenge in Facebook is reaching people without paid advertising. Not many people will see your posts. I think it's 4 in 100 people will see your post, but we'll talk about Facebook analytics later in the presentation. Social media platforms do have a unique audience, so content needs to be different. Please don't duplicate across the platforms. I was doing some work for a local company. I'm not going to say their name and it is being recorded. So I was doing some work for them, and I would post a different post on each platform. So the people who've taken over the job, they post it out on Buffer, so they use a platform to put out the same content to the same on the same content on the same platforms, but to different audiences, but they use the same wording. If you're going to post anything across your platforms, just make sure that your content is different. Try not to look like you're spamming people. So you need to set clear objectives, and we don't do this enough, which is why I volunteered to be a social media mentor for the district. The story goes that Callington, and they won't mind me saying because I've told them, Callington won the prize for the best Rotary Facebook page, and I was at an event and I said that should never have happened. They had the wrong logo, and in the About Us part they talked about Callington, nothing about Rotary, and I said I'm going to change this district. That was about 4.5 years ago, and if you know George Emer, I work with George quite a lot. Poor George. I set out to help change the district in his year, and now he's working with me to help change the district. So what do we want to do with social media? Do we want new members? Yes. Do we want to fundraise? Yes. Do we want to promote our club? Yes. So get your goals. And I always do this because sometimes when we do these presentations, people haven't necessarily got an understanding of what a Facebook profile is and what a Facebook page is or a Facebook group. And when I started this role, there were so many clubs who had a Facebook profile as a business page, which is illegal. It's against Facebook's rules. So Facebook, there was a local club, when we were talking about crowdfunding, they were a person, and I had to sort of explain to them why they should be a page, and then say that we couldn't start Facebook crowdfunding with them having a person because Facebook could take it down at any moment. So to have a Facebook profile is not illegal, but it's against Facebook rules, and it'll get taken down because actually you're saying you're something you're not as a person. So this is mine as it is now. This is a homepage, and the reason I had to update this presentation was because Facebook's updated itself and it looks completely different. So the homepage is this part at the top here, this home, nice blue there, and down the side we have all about us, all about me, and various groups and various pages I'm a member of. And this here is my news feed. So things come up in my news feed. I don't see everything, like I was saying. I only see people only see some posts, but they come up there. And so this is what I see. The next part is a Facebook group. So we've still got a club in the district, oh, I better be careful what I say, but we've still got clubs who do use Facebook groups. When clubs use Facebook groups, this isn't an example of a Rotary club, but you post as an individual within that group, and there's a lack of branding. You're not posting as the Rotary club, you're posting as Sam, who's in this Rotary group. It's very difficult to share information. It's very difficult to get the brand out there, and it's harder work to have a Facebook group because people have to ask to join it. So you're putting up a barrier to people getting in touch with you. Also, you are not able to line up posts or schedule posts. You don't get your analytics like you would on a page. So for Rotary, my mission has been to stop people having groups and get people to have pages. And that's why I'm saying about how Facebook's changed. It's all down the side there, and bits across here, and then you can push more. It's just different to how it was. So I'm going to go through a Facebook page. This is a Facebook page. So I've met a lot of clubs who do not have a username. One of the things to get is a username. Basically, a lot who have had club in their username are now dropping the word club. So Saltram Rotary Club is Saltram Rotary. We've got Plympton Rotary. We've got, I think, Plymouth Rotary UK is the Rotary Club of Plymouth. They've changed to Plymouth Rotary UK. People are dropping the club and having this username. The username's great because it can go on your business cards, it can go on your leaflets. And if you go back to the first slide where I showed you my username on Facebook, I think it was Sam, SAMMXX. And if you put that into facebook.com/, you would get me. If you put facebook.com/Rotary1175, you would get this district page. So there's an opportunity on a Facebook page to write more about you. This has changed. Oops, someone's entered the waiting rooms. This has changed, and we will be updating this. If you look here, you'll see the difference between people who like the page and people who follow the page. When I first got involved, there were 100 people, less people following the page than who liked the page. If you look here, we've got more people following than who like it. And the benefit of that is it shows that we're posting some relevant things and people are choosing to follow us. There is a difference between likes and follows. So if you like something, if you ask me to like your Facebook page, I might like it because you've asked me to like it, but I might unfollow it because I don't want to see what you're posting. So always have a look to see whether you've got more people who are following than who like it. Have your website. So this has got the website on here. And if you see here, it typically replies within an hour, which is amazing. Because when I first started work, it would reply within days and it only had a 45% response rate. So you can change, this is me looking at it as a visitor. I changed it to what a visitor would see. So that's what a visitor to the page would see. We've also got this email, which this is expiring this month, so I'm going to have to change this. This is an email so people can contact us directly, and it says we're a non-profit organisation. So have a look at your page and check that you have all of this. Now we're on to the do's and the don'ts. So the do's, I did say I have posts. I do say do post. Do post. So your posts. So when I go around to clubs and I cause upset by looking at their posts and then showing them what their posts look like, have a look at what you're posting. These posts here show a very lively club, Yelverton, and they did win the award after Callington because they put a huge amount of effort into engaging posts that we're trying to entice people in, and people will use Facebook as a reference point possibly before coming to your club. So do post, and do post regularly. There's a recommendation for businesses of once a day, but with Rotary I think we can vary the frequency according to the audience and the page's aims. Now, the next slide shows you when posts are recommended between 1 to 4, but Rotary pages seem to get a good response in the morning. And I used to get told off in my last club if I hadn't posted something in the morning because people were logging on to see what the update was. You can look at Facebook Insights to gauge this, and I have a slide with the insights on. So try and work out when it's best for post for your club. But my big thing, I say problem there, is I don't necessarily stick to this. I just post when convenient for me and when something happens, because it does happen in real time. You can create a content calendar to help you, and that's really good if there's a few admins. So I have got a copy of that right at the end, and I can put that in the PDF that I send out. I should just write that down. It's just an example. So You've got a speaker on a Monday lunchtime, so you would post in the morning saying we've got this speaker, or post on the Sunday night we have this speaker. You'd post on the Monday after the speaker's been saying they were here. You could post on the Wednesday saying we've got this event on Saturday. You could post on Friday sharing a post maybe. So, and then on Saturday when you have your event, you could share your event. So there's various methods of making sure that you vary what you're posting. And this is what I was saying about the best times to post. My big thing is if everyone's posting at these times, how you're going to get heard. And you know, Domino's Pizzas would probably post maybe on an evening when people are sat at home because it's right for their product. So these it might be that if you Google when's the best time to post on Facebook, this is what you get. But when you actually look at what you're doing, it may be different. So just keep an eye on what you've got. Do share valuable content. I'm very into sharing content, and some of these pictures you may recognize. I know they're slightly old, but sharing useful information will help keep your audience engaged. It's not all about you. It's not all about the sell. It's all about taking part in what's going on in your community. Your audience will come back for more, and you will be viewed as an expert. I used to have a bone health company, and the website was bonehealth.co.uk. I used to share about bones. I still do. I still obsess with bones, but I was an expert in that area. So you need to be an expert in either fundraising or just put your head out there and share content that you want your club to be known for, and you'll demonstrate your worth. Do use photos. Now, if this was a longer session, I have some lovely black and white photos, virtually very old photos from clubs. And they were only a few years ago. They were really pale, really faded photos. Use photos that get, I don't know, real people in. So, you know, up here we've got Sandra with the lambs. You'll see a photo of Ross with some lambs later. But Rotary doing things, you know, I'm sure now, since I put this slide together, I'm sure now over the last year or so, there would be much better photos on slides. But I just took a breath there, didn't I? Because some clubs I've seen, it's just all eating and drinking and not actually doing. So do make sure that your photos reflect your club. Do use video. Not enough people use video, and whether that's live video or actual video, just short videos. This was Plymouth when I was in the Plymouth Club, and like I said, they've changed their username to reflect the way they're changing their. They're reaching 100 in December, so they're trying to modernize themselves a bit. But these were real-time videos, and the views on them were quite high at the time. Now they've got many more likes on the page, and this is an old screenshot, but more people will see video than just a basic post. So post with photos or post with videos. Do promote your events. You may not be able to see this that well, but do promote your events. And I've got up there all your events. So although I've got pictures here of real life events, if you go to Saltram Rotary, we've got a speaker in 2 weeks' time, and I've put a poster of the speaker up telling people how they can book, how they can find out more. The E-Club, we've just set up an E-Club in the Southwest, and the E-Club, it literally thrived on posting events on the pages, on the Facebook page. Don't ignore your community, and this is an example of Plympton. They're not ignoring their community. When I say don't ignore your community, if you look over here to the right with the yellow where it says community, that's on the more of the new Facebook. Click on more, click on the arrow down, and you can see where your club or your district's been tagged, where people have tried to engage with you, and whether or not you've engaged back. So if anyone tags you, or I was going to say mentions you, or it writes on your wall, right? You know, creates a post on your wall. That's where it is in community. too often clubs have ignored them because the people who've been running the pages haven't realized this. I'm not saying that you ignore them, but just make sure that the people running your Facebook pages don't ignore them. You can have groups, and this is where I was saying about groups, and groups you link a group to build a community around your page. So groups are quite good for planning, and we've got one in the Southwest, you might have seen on my page. It's a marketing group. I've got a private marketing group for the district. It works quite well. And this one here was networking in the purpose. It's a secret group of all things, which means that only people with that link can actually join the group. And I used to plan nights out and you know, in real life as it used to be. And there's a group of us and we would all get together behind the scenes. So if you've got a big event, it's quite a good way of sharing information, and you can actually keep it private. So that page can be linked, that group can be linked to your page. You just literally create group, link group to your page, and it can be a private group, and it could be on any projects that you're working on, or it could be a good way of communicating with your fellow members. Now, do analyze and track activity, and I had to put these arrows here because this morning, because I was thinking, why did I color them? And I know why I colored them. So if you look at the blue, this is from Saltram. If you look at the blue, they are events, and actually not many people. I disbelieve that only 8 people it was reached. I disbelieve that because more people came to the quiz, but there are less people with my events than with the actual posts. So I posted this. These are how many people it reached. We've got 300-400 people liking our page, so it's only a small proportion will see it, which is why we're saying post little and often. And these here are shares. So I shared these, so that's why they're in green. So they're shared posts, and they were up quite a lot. So here I am saying to you, share your events. Do share your events because they're really good reference, but have a look at your insights to see what's what, and they will make for interesting reading. My big thing, this is a really big thing, too many clubs, I'm not saying it's not our money, but sometimes there's no need to spend money on boosting or advertising if you don't need to. So do think before you're spending money on boosting or advertising. Once you've got your social media content right, you may not need to. So you need to address the content before putting your hand in your pocket, because if you're going to advertise a post or are going to boost a post and it's a bad post, you're actually probably doing yourself more harm. If it's a good post and you know it's a good post, then actually if you engage with other people, it might do more than for you with shares and likes than putting your hands in your pocket. This is where I take a breath, because don't look desperate, even if you are desperate. Telling people to like my status to get likes on Facebook does not make you look cool. It makes you look desperate. We do this for marketing. We tell people, you know, I've seen one of the companies I was working for, the one I was on about, they're getting people to like and share the page. This is a Rotary Club, and it's in my district, and that's why I'm saying be careful. This was their post. Scroll down our page until you reach the community section. Invite your friends to like this page. Click on this, select your friends, send an invitation. Well, it only got 3 shares for a start, so it didn't do that much, but actually it was engagement bait tactics. It was asking people to like the page. Don't use that, they don't work. So say this Rotary Club, we're going to say that they have 100 people who like the page, and then 900 more people like the page, so they have 1,000. When I said to you that 4% see your posts, they'll be marking to 900 people who don't really like their page. They've just liked it because you asked them to. So it's best not to get hung up on numbers. And this is a storage container, because I've been doing some work for a storage company, and if you look, there are less than 100 people who like the page, but it's sold out all the time. It's sold out because the people who like the page are the ones who are using the company. So don't get hung up on how many people like your page. It's not a competition between clubs. And I find that too much, that people are looking at other people's Facebook pages and copying this, copying that, worrying about numbers. Don't worry. If you're doing a good job and you've got 100 people who like your page, there are 100 people who chose to like your page. You didn't have to beg them, and they're there because they want to help you and they're on your side. So don't get hung up on numbers. I do say enable reviews. They are very good. They can really, really work for you. Don't delete negative reviews or negative posts, because they give you opportunities for attracting support. By writing a positive follow-up to a negative review can help build the impression that your club cares. And I've got there that the audience who see your reply will appreciate your comment. They recognize that you're trying to do your best to solve someone's problem, even if they don't know the end of the story. So if I go back to Yelverton Rotary, they had a really negative review and they wanted to delete it. And I said, nope, don't just reply to it. The person was kicking off about, there's no other word for it other than kicking off, about a car park. They'd been to an event and the car parking, there was something wrong with the car parking. So Yelverton replied that the car parking was nothing to do with them. They were just marshalling it and they didn't organize the event. And actually, it just shot the other person in the foot, didn't it? So, reply and keep smiling. I think that's what I would suggest. Again, the company that I was working for, I've never seen so many deleted posts, deleted comments, so much censorship going on. You don't need to censor, you just need to embrace the negativity, because you can really flip it into a positive. Do keep your message consistent across platforms. So I did say before about the same message but written in a different way across social media, but also with your leaflets and your press releases. Keep the same message. Make sure you don't deviate from that. And Mary will like this one, because it's do keep your branding consistent across all platforms, your color scheme, your logo, your club name, your font. And there, we have the visual identity at a glance. There's so much on My Rotary now it's working. It's back to working, in case you went there before and it wasn't. You can download lots of booklets, and it's really easy to make logos. And I'm often making making club logos for clubs. When I go to them and they have the old logos, they go, "Oh, it's too hard." And I say, "Well, here's some I made earlier," and they usually accept it. So I've put this because do find your voice. Do find your Rotary voice, your club voice, and say it in a consistent way. You need a consistent voice regardless of how many people are running the page. Your voice and your brand message need to be consistent, and the wrong tone can damage your brand. If you go back to where I was saying about desperation, some short, sharp posts actually put people off. So keep warm, keep smiling, and just keep all fuzzy, but keep Rotary as well. And there I said you'll see Ross again with the lambs. This is famous, infamous picture of Ross with 2 lambs. He put a picture of our President Ross with 2 newborn lambs. Which one is the cutest? It's absolutely nothing to do with Rotary other than the Rotary. This is an old picture, but other than the Rotary branding on the tabard. It's a great photo. So start a discussion. Which is best? What day should we do this? What colour should we do this? I don't know. Who's the prettiest, he's saying, or who's the cutest? Do engage. And this picture, that these are 4 years old, this picture now. So Pearl from Emmerdale is a member of Rotary. She was going to Rotary on a Tuesday evening, and I was like, whoa, where's she going? So the Rotary Club of Plymouth tagged Emmerdale and said, lovely to hear that Pearl from Emmerdale is a member of Rotary. How random was that to actually tag Emmerdale? Now I think it's the sort of thing we would all probably do more so. But engage, be brave, and tag your fellow clubs, and tag who you're working with, because it will come up on their community page, which is what I've showed you before about the community page, and they could share it and they could comment. They should share it and they should comment, and you'll get more publicity. Connect with why you're doing it, and this is an old picture now, but or an old article now, but this was I post about polio, and I'm sure that some of you will know Colin Powell in the middle. And I was posting about polio, but I really didn't get why I was posting about polio, probably until I met Colin and then realized the difference it made to his life. So connect with why, always have a why. And it should never be about the I. It's always about we. We did this, we did that, we did the other. Not I. And there are a few clubs I've seen nationally, and I won't say whilst I'm being recorded, but you know, I can tell what trade the person who's doing the Facebook has, and I can tell that he's using Rotary. He's using Rotary to publicize his business. Don't do that. It's all about us. So social media has to be, or should be, authentic, likable, meaningful, memorable, so you'll never forget Ross and his sheep now, or his lambs, relatable, and always have a call to action. People should always know how to contact you, and this is going to be in the PDF. And there you go. I don't know if that's what you expected today.
Oh, I have questions for you, Sam.
Sorry, questions? Oh my gosh, no.
Are you ready? Are you sitting comfortably?
Oh no, gosh, there's loads. Oh God.
So Chris Firth, where does LinkedIn fit into this? Because we're urged to use it as a professional networking medium.
LinkedIn, you're a Rotarian promoting Rotary. You could have a Rotary business page, you could have a page, but sometimes it's better being a Rotarian promoting Rotary. So LinkedIn is part of, so I didn't put it on there, but LinkedIn is part of the others. You're a Rotary club promoting Rotary. On LinkedIn, I think people have more success as being Rotarians promoting Rotary.
You know, on LinkedIn, I just add that on something else that I do, we picked up people coming forward for training because they saw it on LinkedIn. They even saw it on Eventbrite. Yeah,
Eventbrite. Oh gosh, Eventbrite now. We're doing a mental health in business course down. It's free. Any of you can come on it. Any of you can come. It's a free. We got a global grant now because of Zoom. Anyone can come on it. And I was explaining that by putting a free course on Eventbrite, people are looking to what's free in their area. So that's very, very positive. But yeah, LinkedIn, LinkedIn, I think, if you've got a corporate group, then the corporate group in our area are very LinkedIn focused. They've got a LinkedIn page and they're really, really successful. Our our non-corporate Rotary clubs have got members who, maybe 2 or 3 members who are on LinkedIn, and they share that way.
Thank you. Judy Powell would like to know, how do I get something I put on my club page to appear on another organization's page, e.g. if you want to promote an event?
So you can tag it. That's where we're talking about tagging. So if you're going to write, if you have an event, so let me just write this down so I know what I'm saying.
That gives you the next question.
Right, tagging.
Can you explain tagging?
Oh, I will put, because I love you so much, I will put the tagging, I've got a tagging leaflet that I did for a part of our training. Tagging is where, if I'm on here with Alison, on your own page, you would write lovely evening with, and I would start writing your name and it would come up in my post. So if I was in my Rotary club, like we were saying about tagging there, you put the word @ and you start writing that username, and that's where the username becomes so vital. But I will put, because we haven't got time for a do it all tonight, you know, how to do it. This is more what you should do. I will put that in. It's very, very simple. It's like a 4-slide simple. Does that answer that
Okay.
question?
Thank you. And Alan Rice-Smith, is it best to allow others to post on your page
Yeah.
or to prevent that?
No, don't prevent it. And that's where I was saying about the negative reviews. If people want to make plonkers of themselves, they make plonkers of themselves. And then you can delete it if you need to, or reply to it. That's what I was saying about censoring. The company I've been working for, the people who are now doing their social media are censoring everything, and it doesn't give a true picture. So basically with Rotary, if you're posting things that are appropriate, are not going to get anyone's backs up, and it's not controversial, then people would be allowed to post. But you can always click on the 3 dots and delete their post. So please keep it open, because again, it's keeping it fair, but always have your answer back.
Thank you. Jim Curry asked about the hashtag, but his was also, how to select, how many, and how do you search on these?
So hashtags never used to be appropriate for Facebook. So, but they are now. I probably wouldn't put many on Facebook because it looks for your visual person looking at it, it looks messy. Hashtags are more Instagram, and that's where people sometimes marry up Facebook and Instagram and have the same post with lots of hashtags. So for Instagram, you can have more. For Facebook, so say I did the Think Rotary, that hashtag Think Rotary would be something my cat's just come in, would be something that I would use. I don't actually use hashtags that much, because if you go to the search bar of Facebook, you can look for things that way. But Jim, if you had a campaign, so say you had a crowdfunder or a fundraiser or an event, if you put that hashtag and that became yours, and you use that every time you post on that page, then actually that would be a positive. So that could be a marketing tool in itself. So we were doing some marketing for an island, and I had hashtag island life. I know it's not unique, but actually every time I posted about the island, it was hashtag island life. So if like it's mental health in business, I might have hashtag MHIB or something, but that would be appropriate to every post I posted about that topic. But I wouldn't go over the top with hashtags. I don't know. I'm just thinking about visually. It can get messy.
Thank you. Alan Rice-Smith says, is there much gained by pinning a post to the top of your page?
Yeah, if it's the appropriate post, yes. So, but remember to change it. Remember to change it. I'm looking around the room here. I don't know. I can't see him, but yeah, remember to change the post. So have your pinned post, but do change it. And they're really good if you've got an event coming up, or you've got something that you want people to. So the minute someone lands on your page, that's what they see. They'll see what you're trying to promote. Or it could be that this is our club, and you can have a picture of the club and a bit about it and pin it there. Or you could pin a post about Zoom, we're meeting, due to COVID. I think if you look at Saltram, it's not great, but I did put a cover photo saying that we're meeting on Zoom on Tuesday evenings, and I've made that our cover photo. So cover photos and pin posts are really good.
How do you, Jim Curry, how do you manage an event on Facebook? Someone told me that you can do that.
Right, hang on. Jim, I thought, how do I manage an event? So let me, you're going to see my Facebook now. I might as well do that one. Let me do that live. Let me share Facebook with you. I just hope there's the internet thing, isn't it? It always makes, it's always better when you can, because I'm admin on my club.
You might want to, while you're doing that, answer the next one. What evidence is there that engaging Facebook page makes a difference to club membership?
Oh, I can't give you any evidence, but I can say that when I was in Plymouth and in this one, it's like I was saying about looking at hairdressers to see what the staff looked like, and what the haircuts were like, and whether I liked the environment. We had a potential member came in, and I said, "Have you seen our Facebook page?" And he said, "That's why I'm here." So they do their homework. So an engaging Facebook. If you've got a cold, serious, I don't mean to be rude, but there's some in Cornwall that are that were really bad, and you'd look at it and you'd stay clear from it. So they're all changing, but an engaging Facebook is the best is the best you can be. So Jim asked about events. So I'm just going to share the screen because I'm not sure. So this is the event that I let me just shut that up. This is the event that I've just set up. And see there, it's got 119 people and 2 responses, and it's telling me who's responding. This is all the new Facebook, so I hadn't actually done it. So it's saying where they're from, so Plymouth, Bodmin, Wembury. That's really good for me, Plymouth and Wembury, because they're within our area, and actually this is what the event is. And for events, you can add updates, and it's not necessarily appropriate for this lady, but it could be for the Santa Fun Run. When we used to have the Santa Fun Run, I could add, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, and then maybe add how people can book, and what the updates are. So you can put everything within your page. And like I said, there's the insights, this new Facebook insights. So I don't know if that answers your question, Jim. I mean, while we're here, then let me go to the page. Let me go to home. Well, she's got a couple of minutes. So you're asking about tagging. I'm literally at Rotary, or let's say at Rotary International. There you go. I've tagged Rotary International. It's that easy. So Alison, what's your club?
Cardiff Bay.
So I'm going this way because I don't know I don't know. It's a case of
yeah.
It's a case of looking for the username sometimes before you tag. And so
it's Tiger Bay Rotary, the username.
See, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying about Tiger Bay Rotary. No, that's what I'm saying about looking at the username first. It's not always easy. So that username might be in capitals or might not. No. Oh, for goodness sake, I'm trying to do 2 things, aren't I? Can't do 2 things. But say there. I'm just saying there. So I did say like Marjon University. There you go. But I always tell on my handout, I do say look at the username before you start posting, otherwise you end up like that. And don't ever do it live on Zoom because it'll all go wrong. But it's like the University of Miss Universe. Should we tag her? So it's literally a case of doing at and then who you do it. So Sam, I said I was that one, didn't I? That's not me. That's because it's a page. And I'm trying to do it quickly. But there's Shekinah Sainsbury's. There's various ways you can tag, and it would be all be in the at. It is easy, she says. It is.
So we've got a couple of questions left, Sam, which I'm going to try and get in. So next question, I've lost who it's from because this chat keeps moving. But it says that, forgive me, I've forgotten your name. If I were to attach a flyer to something, to a Facebook page, does it have to be JPEG?
Yeah, unless it's a group. Can you add flyers on there now? JPEGs. Yeah. How I do that is I'll open up a PDF on my phone sometimes and take a screenshot from that, or use this fantastic thing, what's it called? Snip and Sketch. If you haven't got Snip and Sketch, it's free, and you can literally open it up and take the section you want, and I will show you in case you don't know that. So I will show you the Snip and Sketch that I've got now. There, this is the Snip and Sketch that I've just done, and I'm saving it as a JPEG, and I've done that from a PowerPoint presentation. So you just literally I'm trying to find something I could do. So there, look, see, I don't know, can you see that or not? because I didn't share the thing. There you go. You probably didn't see that because I didn't share the desktop. But yeah, Snip and Sketch is really good, and then you have it as the image. And the other thing I would recommend, and someone sent me something yesterday, and it was portrait. Have any event picture, have it as landscape, because then above the fold you'll see the whole of the event.
So another question, again, it's with so much traffic on Facebook, how can you keep your post engaging before it disappears with the volume?
This is where it will disappear. It will go down, but that's what I was saying about posting 3-4 times a week, maybe. See, I would probably do about 4 or 5 times a week. The more you post, sometimes you could put people off. If you've got an event, they may expect you to post 4 times that day. But that's why you post little and often, and then people will start looking for you. And if you go to the 3 dots on any page, so if you go to a page, they can go to 3 dots on your page and they can put see first, and they will see your post first. So they will never lose your post. And every time you post, they'll get a notification.
Thank you. Alan Rice-Smith asked an important question. He has quite a few how-to questions. Is there somewhere on Facebook which will help him struggling to share these questions? So for instance, I've been struggling to share posts as the club as opposed to myself. What would help is there on Facebook?
Sorry, sharing?
Posts as the club as opposed to myself.
Okay. So I'm going to share the screen again.
And he's asking for a second session with you on how to.
I can do the how to. So say here, all right, this is our golf day. You go to our golf day, if you can all see this, see that arrow down? You can share that as whoever. So if I went to it and it was Sam, and I was going to share it as me, but I could go to it and share it as Saltram Rotary there. So I don't know if that answers his question, but that's part of the training I give for the how to do things. And so we're going to say I'm going to share it here, and then I literally share, and that would be sharing to my news feed there, and then me writing a comment. Or if I was going to share it to the district, everyone's going now because it's 8 o'clock. If I was going to share it to the district or comment as the district, I would do it there. So share and share to a page, and then share to the district there. So we can do that in another session if you wish, but or if we have a session on down here, I can let you know, and anyone can come to it.
I'm sorry for the 2 questions that were outstanding, but I'm sure if you twiddle with the page with the instructions you've been given, you'll find your answers. So over to you, Rory.
Okay. Well, Sam, you must be busy enough with your presidency of Saltram Rotary Club. So thank you so much for giving up your time on a Friday evening to talk to us about social media and how important it is for all of us. The challenge for many clubs is finding enough public image volunteers to post on social media. And your suggested team approach is a really good idea. But I can't help feeling that every club would like a Sam Cross amongst them so that they can do it for us. I have to say that I started on Facebook in July, and I'm finding it a great challenge. But I think the more I do it, the easier it's getting. So I think it's all about practice. Well, we've had a funny half hour tonight with names. Chris was called Colin and Sam Cross was called Cooper. So continuing in the same vein, I'd like to thank my co-hosts Colin Firth and Jenny Sutherland tonight, and also Marjorie Adams for all your efforts in organising this event. And also you, the members, for joining us this evening. But lastly, I'd like to say a plug for the next meeting, Thursday, the 12th of November, 3-district meeting, when Amanda Watkin will talk to us about the Rotary Hub. This is a great new membership initiative that will affect us all. So 12th of November, Thursday, Rotary Hub. Details, Mary will send details out to you over the course of the next few weeks. So thank you very much, everyone. It's now 8 o'clock, just about on the dot, and enjoy your evening and weekend. Thank you.
Before you go, someone's asked about where does it leave the website? You actually drive traffic to the website from Facebook. So if there's a post on the website, you pop it onto, if something on Facebook, the website, pop it onto Facebook, and you will drive traffic to the website. And if that was a business, that's great. As it's the template, you may not go up the Google rankings, but that's the way to share more information. Sorry,
Thank you very
I was
much,
just looking. Sorry.
I'm sure you're going to get more and more questions, but
That's okay. Very welcome.
well, very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed.